It's been a long, bumpy ride sitting back in the saddle.
Welcome in, Pirate fans, to a special podcast of Williamsburg football. Speaking with head coach Rob Woodward. And coach, cliches are always out there. Didn't want to end up where you were, but I'm sure with all that was going on this year, you were probably glad and probably happy with the way the season turned out. What were your final thoughts there?
Yeah, I told the kids after the game, there's only been 1 year that I've been coaching in 19 years that the season's finished the way you wanted it to. And we're blessed to have had that opportunity. But our senior class got to experience that as freshmen. But other than that, everybody usually finishes the season with a game that they've lost and somebody else has moved on. But what I can definitely say is our guys competed. They went out and they battled. Our theme this year, be the best. They gave their best every single day. Worked to strive as a whole to get everybody to be their best and work towards their best. And they went out and they competed, and that's all you can ask for.
Looking back at this senior class, what's something that will remind you of these guys in years past down the road?
Oh man, adversity. Geez, just adversity. If I said it on the radio just a little bit ago as I finished up interview with WNXT, but that first game with Chillicothe, when we had to, show up, go out and go through our special teams warm-up, and then try to go out as a full team, get blown back in the locker room, 2 hours, half the group on the bus, half the group in the locker room. After already all the COVID things that we had done on the way up or prior to, weeks leading up to, then we get to come out, we kick off, first play from scrimmage, Matthew Miller picks a pass off, returns it back to their 19, and then we get blown for another lightning delay. And we've got to make a decision on what to do there, and we ultimately decide that, hey, we're going to come back the next day. It's an hour drive for us, and again, we faced all this stuff. I remember just questioning myself as a coach on that ride back going, what in the world, You had all the momentum. Is this what we should have done? And, of course, the second guessing stuff that keeps me up at night drives my wife nuts because I walk around, with a stern look on my face or mad look on my face because I'm just thinking about all the different things. But ultimately, we come back up on that Saturday. Beautiful day, beautiful weather. Kids are just as excited as they were on that Friday night, the night before. They come out and put together a 31-0 victory over a very good Chillicothe team that went on to win all the regular season games and got beaten that first round of the playoffs, but were missing. Only had 18 players that they were able to play with. But, so again, if the season would have ended right there that day, everything that we had worked for, I thought was worth every bit of it because our guys went out and competed and showed the love of the game. And then they continued to do that each and every week that they went out. That's what I'm going to remember this team for. It's just the ability to face all the adversity and to still go out and say, hey, we love this game. Throw whatever you want at us. We're going to go out and we're going to play just as hard and fast and physical as we can and represent Wheelersburg community.
Coach, it's hard to mention every senior, especially on a large class like that. And I'm not going to ask you to do that. That's probably personal time between you and your seniors. But, when you look at this senior class, it seems like this senior class struggled early in their earlier years, in their junior high years, and in their freshman year. And then you get to the end result of that group, and you've got to be proud as a program, I would imagine, from where they started to where they finish. It kind of seems like that's the way Wheelersburg program goes most of the time, is ending better than where they started.
Well, yeah, these kids are, as you mentioned, are used to adversity. They faced it up through their junior high years. We try to keep classes together. 7th grade year, you're playing with your 7th grade athletes, and sometimes a class doesn't quite have what another class from another school. Matter of fact, a lot of times we are playing schools that have a mixture. They may have brought their 8th grade quarterback down just so they could play, or 7th grade quarterback up, whether it's in 8th grade, just so they can play. And we're always fine with that. We just want our kids going out and competing, but we try to keep our classes together as much as we can and keep them together. So, yeah, they struggled a little bit. They're a smaller class. There's 15 of them all together, but there's really 12, 13 guys that have played all the way through, and they have faced that adversity, but they've gone out, and then when they mix with our juniors, with our sophomores, and they get those guys to play at a high level, that's what you want to have within your varsity program, and our guys did that this year. And I can't say enough about just, again, all the adversity and for them to be able to step up.
Well, then you move on, and Coach, and again, you've been through this year in and year out, where you transition into the next class, and it's a hard thing to say goodbye to one class and move into the next class. Again, what are your expectations for these next young men that are going to replace these valuable seniors that you just lost?
Well, we've had some of them contribute now. This year, right now, sophomores, juniors, they've got to not be content with the efforts that they've had. Sorry, I got a little one here.
Oh, that's all right.
They've got to recognize that this is just the start of things, and if they're content with just that, then shame on them. We're not going to allow that to happen. We're going to make sure that they understand they've got to continue to work and go out just like this group of seniors did, and try to make each group better and better every single year. You look at some of these seniors, as you were mentioning. We got an offensive line there. Will Whitley, Ethan Ison, Cameron Griffey, Chase Conley, Blake Richardson. Blake being the only one, though, that was a starter for a number of years. All the rest of them stepped into those roles this year, and they just said, "Hey, we're biding our time, waiting for the time that Coach says I'm the guy, and work towards that. And we're going to step in and give everything that we have." Our offensive line did that. We had a number of guys in other positions. Ian Fannin, is a guy that was partially used at different times, but really stepped in this year and was a defensive back for us and a receiver at times. Just so many guys down through there. Case Dyer stepping up. He's a guy that just worked through our JV program and then stepped up. So our young guys got to understand from the leadership that was shown by that upperclassman that when you get your chance, you got to go out and make the most of it and be the best you can be and continue to work and strive for the love of the game to get out there and be a part of all that.
Well, Coach, it's a beautiful Saturday. We're not going to hold you up. We appreciate you taking the time to kind of pop back on here at the end of the year and go over some final thoughts. I know that there's been talk that there may not be an end banquet there. Is that going to happen? I don't know if you guys have been able to put something together or not. I'm not sure.
Well, as of right now, large gatherings is something that we can't have.
Sure.
So we're not able to. We still want to recognize these kids and the efforts that they have, but we also got other kids that's moving into other programs, and I know coaches, don't want to have anything jeopardized with their seasons, and it's just a tough call to make with all that stuff. We're brainstorming different ideas, trying to make sure that the experience is, as close to what it can be, special for these young people. But hey, we ultimately had a season. We were able to recognize different players, in terms of awards and things, and that's ultimately what you want to be able to do. I don't think anybody's going to really remember the banquet or that. They're going to remember the fact that they played a season and they went out and they competed every single day, and I'm very thankful for that.
Well, Coach, thank you for so much. Good luck in your off season. Any final thoughts before we get off for this 2020 season?
Just a big thank you to all those that contribute to our program. As I try to run through all of that, everybody from my assistant coaches to the managers and just all the people behind the scenes, stats, video, working this year to provide all the same things for players in what was a tougher time or it wasn't as easy and people still had to work and love what they do, and I appreciate everybody that did that to try to make this experience for our young people as great as it can be.
That's Coach Rob Woodward with his final thoughts for his 2020 Senior Pirates there. We appreciate you guys tuning in, BurgFan.com, week in and week out. And, Coach, thanks a lot again, and we'll talk to you on the next time.
Thank you, Gene. Go Berg.